All right, folks. Welcome to our webinar on weekend experiences for Cub Scout packs. And we'll have three people who are going to be talking during this very brief webinar. I know webinar sounds like it's going to last a long time. No, this is probably about a 20-minute presentation, and then we'll have Q&A, any questions you might have, so we can get you back to your evening or supper or dessert or whatever it is. But thank you for joining us. I'm Bill Givler, and I'm the Council's Vice President of Program and Communication. And also presenting here tonight is our office manager, Pam Mishkowski. And then also we've got Melissa Bartholomew, who is our program assistant in our customer service team. And so the three of us will be talking to y'all about weekend experiences and answering questions you might have. Go ahead and get right into what weekend experiences is all about. We realized a few years back that our scout camp and our Cub Scout camp were fairly underutilized, except for our scheduled events and summer camp. It heavily used in the summer, of course, for all of our resident camps and programs, but not so used the rest of the year, except for some set weekends when we were either doing camporees or conducting, Cub family campouts like Creepy Hollow. And all those events are, great and they're highly successful. But what about, other times, other weekends, other other opportunities for people to get involved in programs at camp? So one of the things that we thought about was, well, we've got all this stuff out here, and we've got weekend campers who are coming out for their own camping experiences. Why not offer programs? And we got camp staff and experienced volunteers who would love to teach archery, teach fishing, teach all kinds of things on Saturdays. What a great opportunity to provide those programs, kind of a la carte. And so the whole concept is around having Cub packs come out to our camp on weekends and on Saturdays, being able to provide programs to Cub packs who come out a la carte. They choose from a menu of different program offerings. Some of them probably need some staff, and we've got experts that we can provide to do that instruction, stuff like BB shooting and archery. We've got BSA rules about who can run that, and we've got people who are willing to come out and do that for you. And then other things like, well, fishing. You don't necessarily have to have an expert that we provide come and teach fishing, especially when there's probably some parents in the Cub Scout pack who have those skills and abilities anyway. But we've got, poles and hooks and, all the stuff you need to really do fishing at our Cub camp. So really what we're doing is providing the resources and the opportunity for Cub packs to deliver some programs to their families that are tailored to exactly what they need and what they want. There's also, unlike at Creepy Hollow, for instance, where we've got 500 other Cub Scouts there for a weekend. There's 10, 12 activity stations, but there's still lines at all of them. And so in this scenario, there's no other packs there who are doing that particular activity. It's just your pack. So, no crowds unless your pack is a crowd. And And again, expert instructors available if they're needed. If the pack has some of those expert folks in place already, great. You can use your own. And just some operators, just make it easier for our Cub Scout packs and you guys, they're volunteers to deliver some fun programs for kids. So I'm going to share screen and bring up our current weekend experience program flyer. Hopefully y'all can see my screen. Can someone give me a thumbs up that it's there? Awesome. So this is our new weekend experience informational flyer, and it's literally hot off the presses. One of the reasons I'm not taking you to our website today is because we are in the midst of a website refresh and redesign. It's going to launch here sometime in late August. Our goal is kind of September 1 to have it up and live and running, so that when new families join, they're joining. When new families join, they're seeing our current website, and we're not having to kind of re-educate them on what it is. See someone looking really close at that screen. Let me try and zoom in some, if that helps. Page, this is just our cover page for kind of what Weekend Experience is all about. And I'll email this to all of our participants after our event tonight. It's just a QR code there, because we're going to print these and have them available at events over the next 6 months or so. But the real magic of these weekend experiences is that there's a ton of options. And so when you're thinking about, hey, we'd love to come out and use camp on a Saturday, what could we do? Here are the things that we're offering. So we have a pool. It's not huge, but it is it's there, and it's open from basically May until late October. We do have to winterize it, so from November to the end of April, it's really not available, but the rest of the year it is. We'd love to have packs come out and have swimming adventures with their scouts. Obviously, we've got shooting ranges, so BB gun shooting, archery, slingshot. These are opportunities we provide. Fishing, we talked about earlier. We have a great nature lodge and nature trails, and kind of some canned nature programming that we can offer. We have not offered this in the past, but we're going to begin offering rain gutter regatta as an experience your pack could do, and also the Lego Pinewood Derby. So we set up a Lego track in one of our spaces, and Cub Scout pack comes and on a Saturday for 3 hours in the morning or 3 hours in the afternoon. They build Lego cars, and they race them on that track. And then we've got STEM. We have some Lego robotics and engineering programs that we have available for Cub age scouts, and that in some cases the Cub volunteers can do themselves. And then at the bottom, you can see we also are offering rowboating, canoeing. Both of those are on Lake Dillon, our lake over at our scout camp. We're not trying to do that on the pond at Cub Camp. Climbing, yes, the climbing tower, and kids, Cub Scouts can climb the tower. And older Cub Scouts, we blow us an air of light. Youth can actually rappel down the tower. And then we've got sports and personal fitness. So Pat could come out for 3 hours of games and athletics. We provide goals and nets and cones and the stuff that's needed to have games like ultimate frisbee, soccer, kickball, that sort of stuff. So Go to the next page. And I'm going to turn it over to Pam at this point. And Pam's going to talk. Pam's our key person who I think when Scout troops and Cub Packs contact us about coming out to camp, it's often Pam, sometimes Melissa, who talk to them about the opportunities that are available at camp for them. And so I'm going to let her talk a little bit about costs and about how to actually register.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. So as Bill mentioned, my name is Pam Mishakowski. I'm the office manager at the Heart of Virginia Council. And one of the things we really love doing in the customer service area is helping our units come out to camp and plan a great time. And what we've been able to do over the last couple of weeks is fine tune a lot of the offerings that we're going to be able to give moving forward, making sure we have the right equipment and the right people in place so that you guys and your units can have a great time out there. As for pricing is concerned, camping, so one of the first things you guys have to decide on is, are you guys coming out overnight, Friday and Saturday, or maybe just Saturday night, or are you just coming out for the day? Because the pricing is separate for the camping and the experience. So if you're over on the Cub side and you're wanting to just tent camp, it's $3 per person per night. And then tent camping on the other side, if you're using the platforms and the bathhouses over there, is $5 per person. The mountain cabins, the yurts, and the Western Fort over on the Cub side, so they would be covered housing, are $10 per person per night. So again, that's the camping fee. Then we move on to the fee for the adventures themselves. And it just really depends on what you need. For fishing, if you're going to be utilizing the rods and the tackle equipment and the bait that we have out there, that's $6 per person. Same with swimming and the nature program. I do want to say with the nature program, that is something that we have new in the Albright ecological area over on the T. Brady side. And that's a phenomenal program that they're starting up over there with nature hikes and walks, and also going to be doing a little planting and farming over there. So if your unit is interested in doing that, we can arrange for that as well. So all three of those are $6. Range and target sports are $10, and that includes all three activities: BB, archery, and slingshot. And as Bill had mentioned, some of these do require support staff, and we will work with you if you have a support staff, or if you have somebody in your unit, a leader in your unit, who has the appropriate training to be assist us with the target sports. We will modify the pricing for that. STEM, we have a lot of activities out there. They're basically adventures in a box. We can also provide a instructor for that. The climbing, as Bill mentioned, that can be done by all the Cub Scouts. And when you get into the Webelos and the Arrow of Lights, they can also do the rappelling part of that. That does require, again, 2 support staff, a director and an instructor, to be out there to supervise the activity. And again, if you have somebody who's taken the training and has that, we can amend the payment of the invoice accordingly. The Rain Gutter Regatta and the Pinewood Derby are 2 new things that we've added out there. And the Pinewood Derby isn't your typical Pinewood Derby. That is going to be the Lego Pinewood Derby. Those are a lot of fun. If you've seen them, we have special tires that the kids will build their car on. Boating, again, boating can be done out there. The canoeing, the rowing can be done out there. Again, we just need to make sure that you have the leaders out there that have the right training, as well as a lifeguard. And if you guys don't, we can provide that. And sports and personal fitness is just going out there and utilizing some of the equipment we have, the ultimate frisbees course and such like that, the obstacle course and everything. And we'll work with you on planning this. All of those activities can be done in the morning or the afternoon. They're about 3 hours long. And again, we have certain ones that do require at least one support staff. Some of them need two, but we can talk through that when you're placing your reservation. Now, how do you make a reservation? As Bill said, the website's currently under renovation itself. So we'll be getting to that. And when we get the new link set up for where you can go and make online reservations yourself, we'll post that in the Friday 5 and the Courier and get that out to everybody. But as of for right now, if you reach out to me, there's my email address and my phone number. You can reach out to me, and either myself or Melissa will be getting back to you, and we can look at dates. We can make recommendations. Sometimes when you're working on that reservation yourself, there may be another group already out there. But if you give us a call, sometimes we can work some things out and rearrange some things and make sure that your unit gets the weekend you're looking for. So yes, it's great to do it online, but you know, when we're looking at it, there's sometimes some things that we can catch and we can modify or change or work with another group to make sure everybody's getting the dates and the activities they want and having the great time that they want to have. So again, you can reach out to myself, and Melissa and I try to get back to everyone the same day. You know, hopefully we'll get you guys out there and plan to have a great weekend for your units.
All right. I'm going to turn over to Melissa to kind of talk about some of the things she's going to be doing to support weekend experiences.
Hi, y'all. So just so you know, in the chat, I did put Pam's email as well as my email. And I'll be reaching out to leaders to see if we can possibly book for an upcoming weekend experience for your unit. We would like to make sure that we schedule those so that we can make sure we have the appropriate leadership there if we need some of our instructors, or just make sure it's the best experience for you guys and your pack. And then we're also going to ask that you guys take this information that you guys have heard back to your pack committees, to your leadership, and say, you know, is this something that we could possibly do for our pack? I've had the great experience of being camp master during several of these experiences that we've hosted, and to see those kids light up with the excitement and joy on their faces after having a great day at BB's or archery or climbing, it's just a really cool thing. And those parents are able to take back that experience for a pretty low cost. So we just wanted to find out, is there any questions that you guys have for us? Because we'd love to help you with booking these.
Okay, we have one question in the chat about pricing for the rain gutter or Lego Derby. We don't have that on there at this time. Bill, do you know what we're pricing that at around? Is that going to be about $5?
I think we were, because right now our kind of the entry point for all of our weekend experiences for a 3-hour experience is $6 a head. And I think we were talking about maybe going a little cheaper on those because what's involved for us is not providing a lot of stuff. Really, it's just the setup. So making sure those tracks and things are up. But it definitely won't be more than $6 for those items, and we're going to try and make it as cost effective as possible. You know, one of the kind of things we you know, we want this to be a help to a Cub Scout pack, and something that is can help a scout camp kind of boost a Cub pack kind of boost their the quality of maybe what they're doing for an outdoor program. So this could mean, I could envision with you know, the Rain Gutter Regatta, or especially the Power Derby, maybe you know, a pack's coming out for a weekend camp out, and they're out there and they're showing up on you know, Friday afternoon, and you want a fun activity even maybe Friday evening. I think with things like Rain Gutter Regatta and the Power Derby, we'd be willing to work with y'all on having that maybe even Friday night or Saturday night. so that there's an indoor activity that can keep everyone engaged. So we're pretty flexible on what we're offering. But right now, all of our weekend experience items that kind of you're seeing on this sheet here are really 3-hour experiences, either morning or afternoon. Morning is 9 to noon. Afternoon is 1 to 4, I believe. And those are kind of set. We know we have those, and we've got instructors for this stuff too, who are typically happy to come out and work with y'all for a small fee. But that's kind of what our thoughts were about those two things. Other questions y'all might have?
Brian had a question on shooting sports. Go ahead, Brian.
Yes, thank you. First, Bill, Pam, and Melissa, it's very exciting. I think these are all fantastic. I like the new ideas with the rain gutter and the Lego track. That seems really cool. Especially with the new, this is Brian Sullivan with Cub Scout Pack 2831, by the way. Especially with the new Cub Scout program where it's got slingshots and archery as part of, their own adventures for things. So my question was, for those shooting sports, you mentioned that, you've got the staff or the volunteers in place, unless we've got the folks with the proper training. Does the range master training, I believe there's one scheduled for September 15th, if we got some leaders to go through that, would that satisfy the ability to be able to run those on site?
Yep, absolutely. And those, we typically are charging a $50 fee for an instructor or director of the area. If you guys are able to get one of your own folks trained, then that charge doesn't exist because you're providing your own. They just have to qualify and get through the training that John Allen is providing. I saw John on the call earlier. I'm not sure if he's still here or not, but yeah, if you go through his training for range master, you at that point are able to run that range. And I just want to hear John chime in and say that that's accurate. If they've got someone who's gone through the training, they can run that range themselves.
Yes, that's accurate, and I'll be willing to teach any group to do it, to run the ranges. The one stipulation is that while you're running the range, and if your youth is on the range shooting, they still need an adult with them. You can't be that adult. That's every kid on the range has to have an adult with them, and you can't run the range and be that youth parent also.
That's a good tip. Thank you. Would that allow us to do it as a single unit, or does it still have to be? Do we have to have other units involved?
No, these are just, we plan these just for your units. So when you book an AM shooting experience, that's just your unit out there. We want these to be special and memorable, and for the kids to get as much time with the activities as they possibly can. So you are paying for that experience, that time, just for your unit.
Wonderful. I have one other follow-up question. We're thinking about, for our winter camp out this year, which we typically do in February, we're looking at maybe trying to bring the kids over to Saunders, because they pretty much haven't seen that side of the camp yet. You had mentioned before that these are available, I think you said May to October.
No, that was just the pool. So
just the pool. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Thank you. Perfect.
And the rest
when
of it,
I saw this, I thought we could really just do a weekend of hitting it all. So that's really good news. Thank you.
Bill, can I insert something, please?
Yep.
If you take the Range Masters course and supervise your pack, and we have a couple of packs that come up that don't have anybody wanting to do it, I've got to find people. Don't be surprised if I call you and ask you to come help out.
Roger that.
But if you do that, I think we're going to be paying you $50 for your time.
So, yeah, where's that $50? There we go. Thank you.
So just want to, I don't know if you guys all know John Allen, but John is our camp director out there. So once we set everything up for you and we coordinate and we get that reservation, John reaches out to you a couple days prior to your reservation and he finalizes everything, finalizes final numbers and head counts and just follows up and makes sure that he has all the information he needs to put the right individuals in place. Again, so you guys have a great time. So that's where, John Allen then picks up and coordinates the final details for your weekend.
Well, we're very excited. I'm very excited that all these resources are being set up. I think it's going to make a big difference to the program for all the kids. So I know this has been a lot of work. Thank you all for putting it together and for holding tonight's call.
We're excited. David Melton had some questions. So
yeah,
if you're
hey,
on
thank you for doing this. We're PAC 710 out in Goochland, right down from the road from the camp. My kids have been with Scouts for some years. I've taken on more of a leadership role than I'd ever planned on when I first started. But saying that, we're very short on leaders and trying to get some people doing some stuff. So I'm looking at this as a way to entice people to come out more, do more things, get them excited. I think one of the things last year was the Scouts wanted to do more activities at the camp. And one of the things we did was egg drop off of the tower, that they climb and everything. And of course, we stumbled through that activity a little bit because we didn't realize we had to get a hold of James and some of the other folks out there that help us get it unlocked, put the gear on. So we stumbled through that. It came out great, but we thought, okay, we'll do this again this year. So in the process of trying to figure out who to call for not only these things but the things that I just mentioned, is it always start with the office first or John
Yes.
or James? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. If you reach out to us, we will then, ask you certain questions, find out what exactly it is you want to do. And then, if there's a date, what we'll do is we'll kind of lock in that date so you don't lose that to anything else. And then we'll start putting the pieces in place. If we need to talk to James, if we need to talk to John and see who's available that weekend for the climbing tower, we'll start coordinating all that for you. And then, like I said, just shortly prior to your visit or your weekend at camp, John will be reaching out to you and, talking through about everything that's put in place for that weekend.
Thank you. And also we had lost the Cub Master we had. He'd done it for a couple of years and they've kind of moved on. One of the other things I noticed that parents wanted to do is they said that they had gotten with Scouts to meet other kids and do other things and stuff like that. But our pack went from pre-pandemic 85 to like 12 after the pandemic. And we've noticed several of them in the areas closed up and stuff. We might have interacted in the past with them. There's a lot of stuff I'm catching up on. So my goal this year is to try and book with the camping experiences that you guys have planned for the fall and spring, I guess. I want to make sure that we've got a good spot and everything else. We want to bring our camping gear, but we also want to take advantage of the meals. Is there we want to make sure we're in by a certain time, or are we too late already for the fall or?
No.
The sooner you can do that, the sooner you can let us know what dates you're interested in. Reach out to us, shoot us an email, and we will get them booked in. Right now, the fall is starting to fill up, but there are still opportunities.
Yeah, Pam, he's talking about Creepy Hollow and
okay.
the Fall Cub Camporee. So we have not launched registration for Creepy Hollow yet, but it's going to happen real soon. The Fall Cub Camporee didn't fill up. It typically has not filled up fully. We had about 500 register and attend last year, but we could, that's total people, parents and kids. But we could take up to 500 kids and 500 parents that event. So I guess my bottom line is Creepy Hollow, we will sell out. It does fill up. register early. Once you see Creepy Hollow announced, probably no later than the next courier at the end of August,
Okay.
you know, go ahead and sign up, get your spot booked. And a little more flexibility with the spring event, but the Creepy Hollow fall event, there's 2 weekends of it. They're the last 2 weekends of October, and they will sell out. They did last year, and we expect them to again this year. But
Okay.
when we sign up early, you're good. They both sold out closer to the event, like during the month of October.
And I noticed that, like I said, that it gives us an opportunity to interact with other packs and
Oh yeah,
kids.
oh yeah.
I assume there's a lot of activities to keep everybody plenty busy that.
Oh, yeah.
There are, yeah, yeah. And it's Halloween themed. And there'll be a haunted house. There'll be a haunted trail. There'll be a ton of activities. PAX can come out on Friday night. That's kind of we don't like heavily publicize it, but it's totally fine. A PAC can camp on Friday night, be there, check in officially on Saturday morning. Do all these activities are all pretty much Saturday afternoon and evening. And then, you know, there's even on Sunday morning, there's programs. So you can turn it into a whole weekend if you want. Although we typically find that one night is more than enough for a brand new family starting to do camping and being Cub Scout. Sometimes that 2 nights is just too much.
Yeah, and I mean that's good. Yeah, Saturday night's fine. The thing I'm thinking of is also we're finishing up getting our paperwork ready for recruitment of the schools in our local area. We won't have our info night until like August 30th, you know, because the way the school started, when they're starting, etc., and what we were allowed to schedule and when. So I'm hoping that we'll get some numbers that we can hit them right away. I'm going to preemptively try and schedule some things. Everything we covered tonight will be available if we kind of penciled it in and then schedule with you down the road, or
Mhm.
is it
Yeah.
like only certain weekends other than the pool is available? Like you can only do this in August and October.
The challenge, everything's available except for the pool for the most part year round. Although I don't know if you really want to do boating in the winter. Just that sounds.
Right. Yeah, no, I get that.
But the key thing is it is first come first serve. So if another pack has signed up for that Saturday and they're doing, you know, archery at Cub Camp, then that might not be available. Although we could probably do archery with you guys over in the Scout Camp range if that wasn't already taken. So we're pretty flexible, but and even there, usually they're going to do archery for 3 hours and the afternoon might still be open. So we just, the sooner you get with Pam and Melissa about dates, the better.
Okay.
Folks, I'm going to have to probably say some closing comments here because this is not one of the council's paid Zoom accounts, but actually a personal account. And it says less than a minute available in our time. If you have other questions, email us, call us. I'd call us because we'd love to have a conversation with you about experiences.
Call us. We'll be glad to answer that phone and get you help with any of these experiences.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. And you'll send the package out, right, with all the.
Absolutely. We'll send this whole kit out. It'll have the pack stuff and the troop stuff. We're probably going to do some edits though, because I did see a couple things in the actual flyer I want to change. But
And real quick, one of the things I was going to ask is is there a matrix of age groups that can do certain things versus other things?
yeah, everything you saw on the page was Cub Scouts. The only thing that is really the only thing that's age specific is climbing and